thrust set. 5500. 3-1. Rotate.
Test, test, test. What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome in for a last minute stream. I got some stuff to do this afternoon, but it's not quite warmed up enough yet. And I was like, I'm going to go run to the office, the V1 HQ. We're going to do one more quick flight in the Duke. So last minute stream. I appreciate y'all tuning in for this one. Should be a fun scenic flight this morning as we wound the time back just a little bit on the ramp. I think it's around 7 something in the morning local. So about an hour or two off of real time, but we're using real weather as it arrives, or as I guess history real weather. I'm not sure how it works completely yet, but nevertheless, Blue Hour, right where we left off, Eureka, California, BE60 Duke. Today we're not in the Grand Duke. You'll notice if you look over here on the ramp, we got our straight wing Duke. A few little performance changes, a little bit less performance as far as vortex generators and lift and drag and the winglets and all that. So we're taking the straight up Duke. You can see this one here is a Grand Duke, but I thought it'd be fun to mix it up. We'll walk over to our airplane, get things fired up. Last minute ski trip. I don't even know if there's still snow in Tahoe, whatever it is. Maybe we're going fishing. How about early morning fishing trip out there at Lake Tahoe? We're going to charter a boat and go out there in no man's land. So here is our beautiful bird, the BE60. Absolutely love it. Wingnuts in the house. Good to see you, man. Classy Traveler. Harris is up here. Mr. Santana. No patience for this. Andy B. Bo Browning. What's up, man? Did you make a snowman, Bo, when the snow came out there? Fun Life. Stevens in the house. Arrow Maze. Tanner Hoyt. Flight Alive. And many more. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you. Let's get this bird fired up, right? Shed the gnar, bruh. Exactly. Shred the gnar. Oh my gosh. All right. Harris, good to see you, my friend. Captain Aviation and Haas and many more. All right, y'all. You're skiing this weekend, Captain Aviation? Where at? Up in Tahoe? What? No Airbus? No Oscar. Nope, no Oscar. No Airbus today. So, all right. Let's get this thing fired up. I think it's time. I think it is time. Duke time, baby. Ken Rescue Tech LeMay. Thank you for the 16-month support, man. I appreciate you. I'm hoping when they bring the official version, we go ahead and click these, click those things off there. But there's our bird. Now, this is a custom livery. I might have to talk to Whiskey Throttle in the future, see if he can fix this. I think with the new dynamic registration, it gets kind of bugged out here in the sim, because when I don't have a registration, it just like flickers. So, either way, we got a little conflict there, but I just love this livery too much to not sport it. So even though we're in the non-Grand Duke, we're taking the regular Duke, I still love this livery. Favorite part, still the chocks down there. So freaking cool. All right, let's go ahead and board this sucker up. Two blinders are dead to me. True Blue Lou, you said it, man. All right, this is our payload we got. We're doing about a 500 burn today going over there, and I'm going to push the engines pretty hard. We're going up 20,000 feet. So our gross weight, I've got 4 people in here. We've got our equipment. We've got 140 pounds of gear and fuel. We're still about 1,000 pounds under max, so we should be plenty good there. We got a range of 825, 3.5 hour endurance. It should be 1 hour flight, just under 1 hour, just above 1 hour flight time takeoff to touchdown. But like I said, we're going to barber pull this as much as we can. I might try to pull the manual out in the climb out too, and try to get a proper power settings from the manual. So we'll take a look at that as well. So we'll go ahead and get the wheel chocks, the pitot covers, and the engine covers removed. Looking at our engines, we are, you can see the pistons, everything there. I'm going to show you something. We're going to start up with that so you can kind of see how it lights off. But failures are on. 2X. Uh-oh. 1 active failure. Well, let's leave it. And I don't want to find out what it is. Let's see if we can determine what that failure is, just doing real life stuff. So what's cool here, though, to start up the bird, I'm going to go ahead and do kind of our pre-flight flow real quick. Let me hide this. We'll go ahead and get the battery switch on. We'll get the nav on, the beacon on, idle forward cut off. We'll get the keys off the HSI. That closes the nose wheel for us. Ooh, we got a 310 joining the flight. Excellent. Can't wait to smoke them all the way to Tahoe. We do need to close the cabin door because I forget where the click spot is on that. I'm going to bring up the right engine page so we can watch the engine start live. Man, I noticed I'm getting a little bit of like this. Every so often I get like one split-second stutter, and I don't know what that's all about. Whoa, what happened there? All right, so crazy how much the Duke looks like a King Air versus the Baron, right? Well, especially the Turbine Duke, man. Turbine Duke is just, it's the juice. All right, I'm going to show you this. This is cool. So we're going to bring up the right engine. We're going to start the right engine first. We're going to crack the window so we can clear prop. We're going to start a pre-oiler. You're going to see the oil start pumping here. Here it comes out of the oil pump. We're going to pre-oil. I think you run that for like 30 seconds or something. The stutter I get in 2020 with the electrical engaged, it gets worse over time. Really? With the electrical engaged? I wonder what that's all about. All right, that should be good. Pre-oiler is off. Let's go ahead and run the prime. So we're going to go ahead and run these up. I got to turn the sim sounds up, don't I? Don't want to flood the engine. Hold on, let me go ahead and... That's good enough there. Bring it back, bring it back. Go ahead and turn the pumps off. That's coming there, that's there, forward. Make sure the sounds are juiced up for engine start here. All right, so right magneto, right, left, both. See our mags are online. I'm going to crack the throttle. Clear prop. Watch this pistons and the spark plugs fire off here. That is so cool. All right, run up to 1,000 RPM. Nice and easy. Crack that mixture back just a hair so we're not fouling plugs. All right, so we're going to repeat the same for the left engine. Right, left. I didn't pre-oil this one. Let's pre-oil this one for a second. Check. All right, clear prop. Bring that mixture back. Run that throttle up there about 1,000 RPM. Not fouling plugs. All right, 2 good starts. Let's go ahead and kill that. Let's close the door. bring up the cameras. There we go. With 2 engines on, we'll get generator 1, generator 2, inverter main, master switch coming on. Turn on the panel lights while we're at it. Get everything booted up here. We got ourselves a little flight plan today. Top altitude, 20,000 feet. EFB is reason alone to buy this airplane. I agree, Team Vodka. I agree, man. Now, it's interesting that we have a failure. I wonder what it is. I have a hunch I know what it might be because I was doing a little circuitry work here in the morning. But 39 degrees in here, that's okay. We've got ourselves a nice, let's go auto heat. We'll make sure we turn that off and see if we can't warm up the cabin here a little bit with the vent blower on low. Hit the enter key on that, enter key on that. Turn on the pitch trim. We'll set it just to the aft. Kind of, it's pretty much bang on in the middle is where you want it to be. Got to put it right there. Cow flaps, I'm going to close them full. They should already be closed, I think, from the last time. I'm just going to hold it here for about 7 seconds because we do have a cold engine. It's very cold, so cow flaps closed. Warming up the cabin here. You can see it's warming up. Wait for our GPS integrals to come online. Wingnut, it is a black square. Dude, you got it. Yeah, pick them up. Pick up the package, man. The Turbine Duke, just get them in a bundle. You need both of them. VFD, thank you so much, man, for the 11 months. V1, how's it going? Been flying the Turbine Duke all morning, or it's just as good 24. So what I got to do, VFD, and I love black square so much. I'm not saying this for any other reason than just because I want to show you that I'm not just all talk. Like, I did get these aircraft free of charge during pre-release, right before they came out. I love them so much. My links and stuff for those have disappeared. I just rebought them because I want to support black square that much. So now that I know that Turbine Duke's VFD, I will purchase that one as well and get it up and running because I would absolutely love to get some PT6 in here. And I love how black square goes about. Just kind of, he's very meticulous and a lot of attention to detail. And I think it's some of the best aircraft we have in 2020. It's just they're not tube liners, so they kind of slide under the radar, but really some good stuff. Let's go into the flight plan here. We're going to do our quick, we do have a little bit of a flight plan, so we'll start off here, KEKA, and then we're going to hit the Fortuna VOR, but I'm just going to put the Fortuna GPS coordinate in there. After Fortuna, let me move this over here, we're going to Red Bluff. And then the reason we're going over fuel waypoint is because I want to see what Clear Lake looks like, or Lake Orville, excuse me. My dad's sister, they lived up on Orville, so I want to fly over it in the sim. That's where fuel is. It's just south of Orville Lake, and then Palisades is SWR, and then that'll take us into Tahoe. Now we do have an IFR flight plan file because we are going up to 20,000 feet. Above 18,000 feet you are IFR, you must be IFR, so that's why we have it filed. But if we want to drop down and go VFR, we sure can. So right now TVL is set. That's our flight plan. We'll zoom out the range a little bit. The Fortuna VOR, let's get that tuned in here real quick. Where's my sky vector? That's going to be 114.0. So let's tune in Fortuna on the cursor down here, 114.0. You could see we don't have to super rush this because we're just now hitting the green on the cylinder temps. So 14.0 will be our Fortuna VOR. We'll put that in nav2 primary because we're probably going to be using our CDI here, which is fine. But we're going to want to join that airway, which off of Fortuna, it's the 091. So I'm going to set 091 course on here as a reminder that that's what I want to join. We'll take off, fly VFR, go direct to join the airway, middle of the airway, but that looks good. The Classy Traveler, my man, thank you so much for $20 super chat. My man, I appreciate you, Classy Traveler. Very kind of you, sir. V1, have a few lattes on me until North Texas thaws out. Hey, that's where I'm at, man. I appreciate the support. Absolutely. I got myself a little cafe con leche right here, ready to go, nice and warm. We're going to be our nice pressurized Duke, nice and warm. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for the support, Classy Traveler. I do appreciate you. Key 6, so you're not going to swing by Oakland and pick me up first? No, man. Not yet, unless I need to, if you know why, you know what I'm saying. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, after, I just want to get the other red bluff, 15.7 will be the second one. So 15.7, I'll put that in standby. So I have all of my nav radios set to something valid. We'll go ahead and turn transponder on, and we'll leave that off. Everything else looks good. So with that set, we're warming up here. Let's go ahead and taxi out. Eureka traffic, November 357 Bravo Sierra, going to taxi runway, what's that, 30 for departure. Or is it, correction, runway 12. Alright, hopefully we got our steering working. It's been working fine on all my little tests. So, yep, steering's working. Alright, out we go. Won't be any buzz from your left, above, or below. Oh man, no one's buzzing. Well, actually, look, we got a Cherokee out there. We got a 310. I don't know who's flying with
Great traffic.
Oop, that's Flicks.
Taxi behind traffic.
Winds are pretty much calm, so instead of doing the long taxi out, actually, should we do the real world? Screw it. Let's take off the other direction, because
Eureka traffic, meridian 4414 Zulu, taxi runway.
It's kind of a cool departure going over the water and making a hard left turn. Let's do that. We're going to 180. And for cinematic juice purposes, we're going to be departing runway 30. Yeah, we're going to go this way.
I'll switch over to 30.
Let's do a Magic Barrel ref update. Oh, that'll help. 3020, as we make the turns here, make sure the ball swings opposite. Turn coordinator's moving, heading is synced up. That looks good. Attitude gyro is erect.
Right traffic.
Man, my phone is blowing up right now, y'all. What is going on? Why is this happening every time we go live, man? My phone just goes bananas. Wait, it says I got your AMP to take a look at the nose wheel steering. Ah, yeah, nose wheel steering has been fixed. That's one thing. I don't know if it's a 2020 issue. I mean, I know most of the time. You could probably say that. I never experienced it in 2024. But yes, if you can't steer on the ground, you got to just like reload. It happens to me in all sorts of aircraft in 24, and I don't know why that is. And I would say it's a conflicting binding, but then when you reload, it's fine. So it's frustrating, but luckily in the Duke, you can kind of get your way around it where you don't have to restart your flight if you just want to do differential braking. But having that, like you can see here, I'm doing all this with just the rudder pedals, which is how it should be. You should get a little bit of caster there. 57 likes, that is 2 week, Robinson. Smash that like button, y'all, for last minute Duke streams. This will be the least viewed video on the channel, but probably one of the most fun videos. Don't mind the taxi lights here. We're going to come in here. Wow, that's my old skid mark when I did my run up on my thumbnail flight. Look at that. That's so cool. All right, we're going to just kind of cockeye it here at 45. We'll set the brake. All right, as we get ready for run up, it's 68 degrees, so I don't forget, let's go ahead and turn the vent blower off for right now. And while I'm looking at it, let's not forget, we're going to set pressurization. We're going up to flight level 200. We can go to 20 in the Duke, right? Yeah. Just sounds so crazy. Flight level 200 is set. All right. Cowl flaps are going to come to half. We are just in the green. So 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,005, 1,000. Let's see where we did. How did we do that? If I look at the engine, yep, that's about half position. Cool. So cowl flaps are half, brakes are set, taxi light off. Let's run it up. 1800
right traffic,
RPM.
705, Mike spotting 30 track.
That 310 is like, I got to get a head start. All right, let's go ahead and cycle the props. Left first. And right. Ooh, a little bit too long there. Try to keep it above 1,000 RPM. Back to the left. And the right. We'll do one more just because it was kind of a cold soak. So one more on the left. And one more on the right. The reason I'm alternating left and right is so it gives that engine a little bit more time to recover instead of just having to wait there for it to come all the way back up. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and do a instrument air check. Let's do a manual inflate. I think I messed that up. Hold on. Instrument air is going down. You can see it there. I'm pointing with my finger like you can see it. Boots are inflated. Now you can see them go down, so boots are working. Let's test the heats, left and right pitot heat. Ooh, wait a second. Oh yeah, there's the jump. Okay, let's go ahead and pitot left. Fuel heats are jumping. Window heat, there it goes, up to the green. That all checks out. All right, let's go ahead and bring it down.
Murray traffic, November 705 Mike, currently on the upwind, leaving traffic pattern, last call, Murray traffic.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to make a left downwind departure. So I'll set my heading bug about 300, and then the course line that we want to intercept is 091 off of Fortuna. So actually, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's go CDI to VLOC, and let's set 091. This is the course line that we want, and we're going to make a left turn to join. Murray traffic, November 357 Bravo Sierra, going to depart runway 30, left downwind departure, Murray. All right, let's get out of here. Brakes released, lights are coming on, pumps are coming on, no flaps required, trims are set, blowers off, electric trim is on. Let's go. I don't seem to have that stutter anymore, Vodka. Maybe it was just for something else. I haven't noticed it yet. So
Right traffic, November 20.
did I forget strobes?
Line up and waiting behind the traffic.
Oh, you mean like where are the strobes? It's yeah, strobe and nav. My bad. You're right. I should go down. You're right. All right, cow flaps are half. Engine instruments, one more time. They are in the green. Close enough. Let's go. Spool it up. Mixture's up. Props are forward. Listen to that turbo. There's the turbo. Up to the governor. Release the brakes. Now nice and smooth. Increase that upper deck air from our lesson yesterday. Upper deck air to the max. Wide open. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. Coming through 90 knots. Nice easy rotation. She'll pop off right about 100. Beautiful. Positive rate. Gear up. Pitching for blue line. Fly with. This is so cool, man. The amount of times I've done this departure in real life just brings me straight back. Those towers are there too.
Traffic, Meridian 44140 Zulu is lining up runway 30.
Left turn. Here we go. Ooh, a Meridian, huh? Don't quite drop that nose yet. Got a little sloppy there. That's all right. Coming through 1,000 feet here. Now let's go ahead and set a nice climb power. We're going to bring it back about 38. Bring the props off the governor. And we'll just crack the mixtures of hair. Let's keep that left turn going. Let's make about 130-ish heading for intercepting that radial. Clear the message. All right, let's go. Auto heat, vent blowers on, pressurization air. We'll crack that to the warm. Cabin is pressurizing. We're gonna do a heist. We're gonna do like a. We're trying to get there. We gotta go fishing. So let's do like a VY climb out, 140-ish plus. Murray traffic, 357 Bravo Sierra at 2,000 feet. Departing to the southeast. Last call, Murray.
Traffic barrier restriction, Meridian 44140 Zulu, departing runway 30, left downwind departure.
No, I'm not on sim update 1 beta. I'm on default right now. I'm just a regular poverty version sim update, whatever it came out. Beautiful morning here at Murray. This is about the time so as soon as I can get my old Freight Dog livery back, we're gonna do some recreation of Freight Dog flights, and we're gonna stream at the time that I would actually be departing in real life. So you may have to get up early if you want to watch those streams. We are a bit heavier today. Let's lower that nose a little bit. And I also forgot, since we filed official ATC, we need a squawk 1537. 1537, and we are squawking altitude now, 1537 on the squawk. All right, you can see here on my GPS we're not going to waste time going to Fortuna. We're just kind of setting up an intercept heading to join the airway, which is the 091 airway. We can activate that leg, but just stay on this heading for now. A little bit of light chop actually this morning, not as smooth as I thought. Oh, getting my lunch order in, standby. This is lovely, Nick, isn't it? 2 a.m. vodka, yeah, well, we might have to fly the Turbine Duke at 2 a.m. No, I don't know if I'll do that. It would be a, let's see, so I'll verify my logbook, but I'm pretty sure my beach stuff out of Dallas was like a 3:15 a.m. I want to say we had to be wheels up at 3:45. I think that was wheels up at 3:45. Because you had to beat the freighter into Lubbock. If you didn't beat the freighter in, you were locked out on the ramp, and good luck. Now you're going to be behind all day, and you're going to be slinging cargo by yourself. Got to get in before the freighter showed up. What's for lunch? I'm hungry. Mickey G, we got pork carnitas panini. Climbing out, we'll just crack that mixture back a little bit. That looks good. Verify our engine instruments. Cylinder head temps are nice and stable in the green. The cabin is pressurizing. 65. It's a little bit cool, isn't it? Let's go ahead and warm it up. We've got ourselves a very powerful Duke here. Let's go ahead and run that heater on a little bit. The clouds do look stunning right now, don't they, though? Oh my goodness, look at that breakout. I'm in a car right now and the whole car is vibrating from your engine thrust. Nice. I actually should probably make sure my props are synced. Yeah, my props are synced. You can hear it. That's what the Boris sound pack, obviously it's the best on every airplane, but really helpful for props because you can hear when that prop is out of sync. And the more you fly them, every time that your prop's out of sync, it's going to annoy you more and more. So like you'll get really good at just subconsciously making sure your props are in sync without even thinking about it. One of the most frustrating things as an instructor when you're doing multi-stuff is like the student is not quite there yet because they're just focused on not crashing or killing themselves. But you're listening to the prop. Wow, 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 wow. Could drive you nuts. You do 4 flights a day, 120 degrees. Patience can run thin. All right, our course line is alive. We'll actually run this. We'll run this radio out here, 091, so we'll actually capture it. Just a little bit of turbulence this morning, but nothing crazy. But I love how I can feel it, just the little bobs in the flight model. So nice, man. 20, 24 foot. Look at the high, wow, the high altitude clouds normally look kind of poopy, but today this looks real. That looks really good up there. Much like me on a work trip, the airplane seems to be hiding one critical failure from the captain. I wonder what it is. I don't know what it is. We ran our run-up. Everything seemed fine. Engine instruments are green. Probably some breaker. Probably some light thing would be my guess, because I might have done a loop seat. Looks fine, though. Actually, that's a point. Make sure all our breakers are in. Breakers will pop. So what's really cool about this, I don't know if you know this, wingnut, so on this airplane, let's say you have a failure of the landing light and the failure is it pops the breaker, all right? Or you damage your landing light, whatever it is, it would cause the breaker to pop. Well, the breaker won't actually pop in the sim until you turn the landing light on. Because if there's no load to the circuit, there's no reason for that circuit breaker to pop. Even though the failure is already recorded, like, okay, this landing light is damaged, when you turn it on, it's going to pop the breaker. So you won't even know it's broken until you activate the switch. If the cabin wasn't pressurizing, cabin VSI would read 0. That is correct. You can see right here, this is our cabin. This is our cabin vertical speed. So it's think of it as the same thing as this, but it's for your cabin. It's for the pressurization of the cabin. So right now the cabin is climbing, which is what we want, because if you look at our pressurization schedule, at 20,000 feet, we're going to be at 7,000 foot cabin altitude. So that's why we're able to fly at 20,000 feet without oxygen mask on, is because we're only going to feel in our bodies like we're at 20,000 feet. I'm going to see if I remember how to activate segment. Menu, activate leg. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Man, this is so stunning. All right. Let's go ahead out of 10,000. We'll get landing, recog, taxi light. We'll go back to nav. Wing ice light can come off. Bring those mixtures back just a little bit more as we lean. So if there was a hole in the fuselage, would the cabin VSI be the same as the aircraft? Depends on how big the hole is. If you had a door open or you were not pressurizing, then you would see the cabin altitude on the diff gauge. You would actually see it matching or closely matching what the airplane was doing, so you're correct. I say closely matching because unless it was just completely depressurized, it couldn't hold pressure at all, then it would lag, it would be exactly the same as the aircraft, but that's typically not how that failure would read. That's why even on the Airbus, you know, airplanes leak. So the airplane is pressurized, but it does leak. So as you're climbing, you want to make sure that you're seeing normal pressurization indications. You know, okay, cabin's at 3,000 as we climb through 10,000, whatever it is, or even up in cruise, you'll see every now and then you'll see the cabin pressure like, oh, cabin's got to climb up a little bit now. Some pressure's leaked off. So, but yeah, you're on the right track there. Yeah, you definitely notice the hole. Well, slow. The thing is too, like, what if you left this open? Or, and this is what I've done personally, slow, is I've dumped the cabin after landing, okay, and I forgot to put this switch back on into the normal position. Well, when this is in the dump position, that dump valve is big enough to just keep you purely depressurized. So as you're climbing, I'll get the cabin alarm, or I'll look at the diff gauge, which is over here, and you'll see that it's mimicking the airplane. So this is the differential pressure. So this is the pressure between the outside and the inside, and this is where the cabin is at. So right now the cabin is at 6,500 feet approximately, right? So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 feet. So when we get up to our cruise, this should be approximately, it should be right about that 7,000. So once this gets to 7, this differential pressure is going to start increasing. Oh, I should probably turn the autopilot off. We're going to start doing pressurization lessons. Is there a climb rate indication on 320 for pressurization? Yes, there is. It is right there on your ECAM. You'll see the little squiggly arrow. It'll be, or it's actually a little up arrow or the down arrow. So climbing or descending. And then it'll have the delta P, which is the differential pressure. So the delta P on the ECAM is exactly this gauge, just in digital format. And we'll talk about that more. Let's get the autopilot out. That's good. It's actually kind of a good thing to talk about here. We're nice and trimmed out here, this pitch attitude. We'll go ahead and engage autopilot. Let's redirect us. Let's clear this message. Let's go direct, Red Bluff activate, CDI low. We'll go nav mode engaged. All right, so now we're navving off the GPS just to make our lives a little bit easier. Let's take advantage of it. Hands off, we'll maintain about 1,000 foot there. That looks good. So, getting back to this, what's very important to understand about the differential pressure is that's where your limitation is. So the airplane theoretically can keep pressurizing until it pops, right? You don't want an unlimited amount of pressure inside of the airplane because it won't cause structural failure. So that differential pressure is the key, and that's what the limiting factor is. So you really want to make sure that your differential pressure, once it gets up to its normal PSI, once that's pressurized, now you're going to see the cabin climb because it can't pressurize any more without causing damage. So once the diff is up to pressure, like a balloon, it's like, all right, now the cabin has no choice, but we're gonna just climb the cabin. But it's still good enough to climb you up to maintain a 7,000 foot cabin altitude at 20,000 feet, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. We got piston engines here. Just wondering if voice sound for the 7.3 will be on console. I don't know if you know or not. Ooh, Aiden, that's a great question for Boris. I do not have an answer for you, my man. Cabin altitude is a limiting factor for the pilot. Differential pressure is the limit for the aircraft. Correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. All right, as we're climbing out, let's go ahead and get a little bit more. Piston hair back. You'll notice, so this is with our supercharger. We had, if you missed the stream yesterday, we had in-depth discussion on the supercharger. Because we have a supercharged engine, the manifold pressures are pretty much staying where they are, where I set them, right? If we did not have or turbocharger, excuse me, this manifold pressure would continue to drop as we climbed up in altitude. But once the naturally aspirated part of the engine is no longer able to maintain that manifold, more and more dense air from the turbocharger is going to be forced in there to keep maintaining that manifold pressure that we desire until it reaches a point to where then it can no longer maintain that, which we have a schedule of that down here somewhere, right? Or was that in the 414? I think it was in the 414 where it showed you the supercharger altitude and max manifold pressure. You see where at a certain altitude, even with the turbocharger, you're not going to be able to maintain max manifold. You're going to be able to maintain a hell of a lot more manifold pressure than you would if it wasn't turbocharged, but you still won't be able to maintain max. And then that's when you get into the size of the turbocharger, the type of turbocharger. Game is a tad too loud. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to turn it down. I was just so juiced up for the takeoff. I've turned it down now. It should be better. Turk, no, I'm in default sim. I haven't updated to the beta yet. I haven't done the beta. According to Boris, he wants to have the marketplace, but there are some additional hurdles he's trying to jump over. All right, there you go. I bet I can tell you what his hurdles are, and that's interior-exterior volume. For some reason, Microsoft has very strict requirements on decibel levels. And that's, yeah. So that's probably a problem. Because I know Wingnut blew out my freaking soundbar on the TV because I had the TV all the way up. Well, not all the way up. I had it up pretty loud, but I didn't realize he had the ANR on, or the noise canceling on. Then he goes to outside view, freaking blows out the soundbar. I'm gonna pick up the Bonanza and Baron today. Duke isn't really my style. What? So you say you want to get the Duke, and now you're going to go get 2 non-study level. Gross. Oh my gosh, Turk, the full flap sim camera views? Dude, who uses... Look at my... I don't even need the FCR. I could probably get rid of that. The only reason I have that is for a career mode. Wingnut's menu bar up here is literally the entire screen. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. Y'all call me the boomer. Bonanza and Baron are not study level. From who? I don't know who makes the Bonanza or the Baron. I'm not familiar with who makes the Baron. I know whoever makes the Baron is not it's not study level. I probably would have heard of it by now. Black Square makes a Baron? Oh, okay. Bonanza and Baron, yeah, they're model limited, Wingnut. So Black Square, then that's no fault to Wingnut here. Probably doesn't know, and many people probably don't know. So Black Square started out by doing a lot of retro mods or overhauls to default aircraft, such as the Bonanza, the C90, where they took the Adobo model and then they did what they could to make it a round gauge aircraft. The first standalone aircraft from Black Square, where it's just purely third party, is the Dukes and the TBM. I'm not missing one, am I? I feel like I'm missing one. Maybe not. I think it's just the Dukes and the TBM are the pure standalone aircraft. So those are the study level ones. The other ones are all limited to Adobo. They're way better than default, but they're not nowhere. They're nowhere on this level. All right, so we're leveled off here at 20,000 feet. We got a ground speed of 277. Let's go ahead and do some cruise settings. So until I can pull up the manual, I'm going to bring it back to about 34. Oh, let's do 35 for now. And then we're going to dig into the manual for like a max continuous power setting. I'm going to bring my RPMs back. 2550. Try to sync that prop in there. Beautiful. 2550. Oh, dang it. I just unsynced it. Close enough. That looks pretty dang good. We'll engage prop sync. 79 degrees in here. It's getting a little bit toasty, so let's go ahead and we'll minimize that pressurization air. Pressurization warm air. You could see at 20,000 feet. Let's take a look at our pressurization table here. So cabin altitude is now 0. We have stopped climbing. Our differential pressure is below the red, so we didn't exceed our max diff. We're sitting at about 4.5 psi. It looks like 4.8 psi is close to the limitation of the max diff. 8.2 on the Airbus, 7.9, 8.1. A bunch of different numbers for that we got to memorize. But for the Duke, it looks like it's about 4.5. Our cabin altitude is at 7,000 feet, which it's kind of hard to see with the glare, but that's exactly what it should be at on our cabin pressure controller. So pressurization is set. Last thing we got to do now is we're going to close the cowl flaps, and then we're going to set our mixtures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to hold it extra long so I know for a fact they're closed. And now we're going to lean for peak, and then we'll dig into the manual and see if we can get a better power setting. So real quick, we're just going to take a look here. I like looking here. You could use this. This is the hardcore EDM 760. This gauge is what fancy people will use when you have the money to buy a Duke or a high performance twin or single engine for that matter. Yeah, you're probably going to have this type of gauge in here. This is the EDM 760. You can get very precise with the leaning, the temperatures, the fuel flows. It's digital, right? So it's much more precise than a gauge like this. But for the sake of today's stream, let's just go ahead and do what we've been doing. So I'm going to pull the mixtures back. Temp is increasing, peaked out about 1550. I'm going to run it just a little rich of peak. So I'm going to rich, temps goes up. And now temps fall back down. So I'm going to go just rich of peak. Just on top about 15. Perfect. We'll consider the power set. Looking at the fuel flows. Pretty close. Close enough for government work. One other thing we're going to do here before we dig into the manual as well is we're going to take a look at our tasks. So I'm going to look at the outside air temp. Outside air temp is Celsius on the inside, so it's almost minus 20. So let's just call it like minus 15. So here's minus 30, so 10, 20. We're going to split our altitude under that temperature window. So our current altitude is 20. So we're going to run this up. 40 gumball, yeah, it does feel good to be back in the Duke, doesn't it? So here I'm going to take my 20, because that's our altitude, flight level 200, and I'm going to put this line just prior to minus 20 OAT. So that's what I'm looking at. That's minus 10 OAT, that's minus 20 OAT, so we're right in the middle at 20,000 feet. If we look at the outer scale of our airspeed, yeah, we're only indicating 170 knots. But remember, indicated airspeed goes down with altitude. So our true airspeed is 240. We're cooking 240 true and a ground speed of 270, 269 at 20,000 feet, rocking 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Sit back, relax, pull out your cafe con leches, chat, because you've worked for it. Time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. I want a Duke. Who's ready to go in with a Duke? Man, we're gonna buy a Duke. done. I want a Duke now. Why do I hate us so much with such high RPM? What do you mean? In the climb out? Because I was trying to get up to altitude quick. You can also check the cowl flaps position from the left window. Really, Lucas? Is there a little, like a mirror? Oh, you mean maybe from back here? Surely, oh, would you see it from on top? You wouldn't see it from on top, would you? I'm going to see if I can't pull out the manual without crashing my sim, because I want to look up some power performance tables. Buy a clapped out Duke and have Boris fix it. That's what I'm going for, man. Nah, slow. I was going to get a Vision Jet, but then I had an engine failure. IMC. Over terrain. And that was it. 2 engines or bust, man. 2 engines or bust. So, can somebody be so kind to point me in the direction of said manual? Is it in the community folder? Piston Duke manual, it is. Printer friendly. No, I might actually, I'll tell you what, I might actually print this sucker out. I want a paper manual of the Duke. Printer friendly Duke, that's awesome. Cool. Alright. Let's bring this out. I got an idea. This is going to be juice. I guess you don't need to see cams anymore, so we'll go back to full screen. Boom. Wow, that's large. Hold on. Doesn't need to be quite that big. Alright. Let's see if we can't find power performance tables or cruise performance data. Sounds checklist. Turbocharger limitations. Normal cruising speeds. Engine limitations, 2900, cylinder head 475, EGTs. Ah, this is interesting. So the critical altitude of our turbocharger is at flight level 200 on a standard day. So that's going to vary slightly depending on the atmospheric conditions. But remember we talked about critical altitude in the turbocharger. So this one is posted at flight level 200. Maximum turbine RPM 125,000. Do not fully retard throttle above critical altitude. Engine combustion may cease. That's not good. That means the boombala boombala is no longer boombala boombaling. And that means you are going to be an expensive glider with a big maintenance bill. Other operating limitations. Do not engage start more than 30 seconds. Alright, I want to find... I know there's tables in here. Aha! Engine power settings. Takeoff power, full throttle, standard day. Maximum continuous power at 20,000 feet. That's what we want. We're going to run this in rental car mode. So at 20,000 we can run 34 inches. 2750 on the prop. And we should task out around 240. What did we say we got? Dang, we're at 240. I mean, that is bang on. We're 1 inch above, so that's okay. We're running, it's rental car mode. But look at that. At 20,000 feet, 34 inches, 2750 RPM. We're at 2550. So we got the prop back a little bit more than necessary, but it's better for our ears, and we're renting this one. The Grand Duke that we have with the winglets, that's the one we own. This is our rental one. Fuel flow 133 approximate. Remember, this is standard day. 239. We're doing literally I mean, it's bang on with the manual. It's 75% power. And you can see, and the gauge has a nice little percent of power for fuel flow. So 75% power would be right there. Very cool. I'm getting ready to make the turn here, though. And what is our fuel flow? Yeah, so we're actually running a little more rich than we need to be. According to this puppy, we can bring it back a little bit. Let's bring it back. But we are running 1 inch higher a manifold. It's supposed to be at 34. I'll tell you what. Let's lean it out a little bit more. Remember, we don't own this one. Leaned it out a little bit more there. We could do it. Burning a lot of extra fuel. Right. All right. Perfect. Zoom out here. So fuel will be, that's the waypoint I want to look for the lake. And then we'll be going down into TVL. Man, this is just a nice view. Let's sit back, relax here. Didn't you once say that having a 2-engine GA only means you have 1 engine to take you to the crash? Yeah, 2 engines just get you to the crash site faster. That's mostly on training aircraft like Piper Seminoles. I never flew the Diamond, the Twin Star, but any naturally aspirated twin, Cessna 310. That's probably going to be the case. Now, even the Chieftain, which I looked it up this morning. So the Chieftains that I flew, they had Lycoming 540s. Well, at least that's what Google says. I don't think you could upgrade them to 541s. The Duke has a 541, Lycoming TIO 541. So it's the same engine, but it's got a bigger displacement. It produces a little bit more power, which makes sense to me because we're running, when I fly this airplane in the sim and I see the performance and everything that we're getting, I'm like, yeah, this does feel, even though it's a smaller aircraft, the performance is better than what I was accustomed to in the Chieftain. But the Chieftain, even though it was a very powerful airplane, you load that sucker up on a hot day and you pull that engine back and do an engine failure, it is a hellacious machine to tame. Even though it has a lot of power, it can quickly become underpowered depending on the scenario that you put it in. So it would make sense to me that the 541s are on the Duke, which is even more power with this smaller airframe. We took off from Eureka, EKA. Are there a disadvantage to operating the RPM at the start of the green band? No, there's really not. It's talking about the propeller RPM. I don't know how how they've come up with the green band. I guess this was a 23, so 21, 22, 2350. 2350 is their lowest RPM that they want to see you run at any continuous amount of time. Running it at 2300 RPM and having a 34-inch of manifold, you're causing more wear on the engine when you're running a lower RPM than necessary, than optimal, I should say. So every manifold pressure is going to have an approximate optimum RPM range. If you don't really have to worry about going full RPM. If you're full RPM, you can run at any manifold pressure with no issue, right? Obviously, unless you're over the governor, but that's also going to create undue stress. But the same is said in the opposite. If you bring that prop way back and you're running that manifold pressure way up, you're causing stress in the opposite direction in that configuration. Now, when we look at this airplane with the turbocharger or a supercharged aircraft where you have much more manifold pressure than prop RPM, the conversation can get a little bit clouded. But to explain it simply, in a naturally aspirated engine that just has a variable speed propeller, say a Piper Arrow, the rule of thumb is you always want to keep the RPM equal to or below the manifold pressure. That's for naturally aspirated, That's just a rule of thumb. That's gonna keep you safe. Now, once you start getting into high performance twins, high performance aircraft, it's gonna vary depending on that engine, that specific engine, and what the specs are for that particular aircraft. So, like the manual says, I should be at 34 inches, and my prop should actually be at 20. What did it say? 2,700 RPM. But it's a little bit more noisy at 2,700, so I'm gonna run it back. Am I gonna damage it here at 2,550, 2,600 RPM? No, not going to damage it per se, but if I ran it back to 2,100 RPM, yeah, it's probably going to start to cause issues over time if you continuously did that. You've got to be careful, though, about these green bands and yellow bands, because these are just gauges. And if you have an aftermarket gauge, sometimes, I mean, I flew Chieftains, Navajos that had no coloration in the gauge. You just had to know the digits. They had no coloration. Some gauges have a little amber band, some don't have the amber band. You really need to look at the manual and understand what the manufacturer's limitations are for that specific engine. Gus says the lower RPM will always cause lower wear on the engine. This is a known old wives' tale. Oh yeah, lower RPM is less wear. Yes, that is a wives' tale. There is also engine ideal RPM where you need to search for, and every engine has a sweet RPM. Exactly, and that's kind of what I'm hitting at. With geared engines, you got to be careful about having too little manifold pressure with high RPM, as it can induce lash in the gearbox. Not sure if these are geared or just turbocharged. With geared engines, you need to be careful having little. Oh, was that like where it unloads and it like is running too fast? Or are you talking about, what is it? I know radials have something about that, right? What's it with the radial wing nut where like if you don't keep power on the airplane, then the prop like runs away? It's almost like the opposite. It's kind of interesting. Oh, here we go. Here comes Lake Orville coming up on the lake. This is cool. The Bonanza has a geared turbocharged SIO engines. Ah. Let me look. Let me see. Let me actually go back to the manual here. Let me look at what it says. What's on this particular engine here. Let me look at the limitations again. What's on this specific model? Wait, this is the Blanco Lirio HQ. Oh, this is Wingnut's favorite spot. Okay, so we have. These are turbocharged, direct drive, fuel-injected, air-cooled, horizontally opposed, 6-cylinder, 541 cubic inch displacement, 380 horsepower, Lycoming TIO 541s, 3-bladed hard cell, constant speed, hydraulically actuated, 74-inch propeller, fully flying at 14, pitch blade at 58. Yeah, so this then to me, Wingnut is saying if it's a direct drive, that's different than what you're referring to, I think. It's been a long time since I've dug in. Oh my gosh, are we icing up? We got a little ice on the windows, chat. My side window's got a little ice on it. Let's go ahead and get the window heats on. And I'll tell you what, let's get the fuel heaters on, and pitot heater on, and stall heater on. Prop heat's not required, but I think we're just flying through a little bit of just a little bit of moisture here right above us. The Blanco Lirio HQ. So there's the Orville Dam, right? Oh, this is cool. Look at that bridge down there. We normally don't have good bridges in the flight in this sim. Got good bridges in this one. Oh, this is cool, man. This is really cool. Sounded like my engines were doing something a little funny. I don't know if I was just hearing things now. Okay, yeah, so these are direct drive. Don't worry about low manifold pressure. Also worth noting, the rule of running manifold pressure and RPM square is really a coincidence. Why should rev per minute and inches in be compared to perfectly matched? It's a coincidence of the units of measurement. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's just, yeah, units of measurement, right. And that's kind of why I was saying, like, that's mostly, like, the airplanes that I flew, it was coincidental that, you know, like the Piper Arrows and the Seminoles and stuff, that it was the same. But yeah, once you start getting into high-performance twins, those kind of go out the window. The 404 is geared? I wonder what engines are on the 404 then, because we have the 404 too. We flew that. Turk, do you notice any ground texture difference when you're in the Sim Update 1 and the beta? People have been saying in the Sim Update 1 that their ground textures at distance have been even better. Oh, that's so cool though, the Orville Dam down there. The further from the airfield, the more you listen to the engines. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely right. We're approaching fuel, 3 miles. Get ready to change course to 122. I'm doing a bad job of maintaining my HSI course up here. We're just cruising around autopilot. Get ready for the cinematic turn here. I'm going to put it in juice view so we can see the bank angle check. Now, I like that. What do you guys like better, the Grand Duke with the winglets and vortex generators, or just the regular Duke? There's something classic about just straight wings, you know? I am a straight wing fan. Winglets are dumb. Grand Duke all day. Wait, we have polls for this. What is start a Q&A? What is this option though? Hold on. Answer questions live to your viewers. Start Q&A. What am I supposed to say? Oh, I post a question? Why wouldn't I just poll it? Start Q&A. I'm just curious what this does to the chat box. Wait, what? I don't know what just happened to my... Oh, I guess I can... I guess it's that. I guess you could do that for a podcast. Just messing with the chat box. Normal looks nice. Also in love with the jetliner without wings. Me too. Fly to live. Me too, man. Bring me a 7.3 Classic with straight wing. That's all I want for Christmas. Look how clean our window is. Nice and cleaned up now on the windows. We're looking good. Looks like a prompt for us to ask questions. I gotcha. Yeah, I just hadn't seen that feature before in the chat box, so I was like, oh. I'm doing it wrong, Boomer. Oh, what am I doing wrong? The Q&A? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Thanks for $3 super chat. Hey, AJ, at least I got my own custom wing views. Wingnut be up here pulling out a 76-item frickin' menu bar, selecting I'd like to go instrument view 1 or passenger view 3, showcase cam number 2. Those views have changed since FS9, man. Oh yeah, post a poll. I know, that's what I was going to do. I got it. Turbine Duke, Grand Duke with winglets, or regular Duke. A320 with fences is getting to be the last jet standing without a wing or sharklets anymore. I know. I know it, man. I hope Fenix adds a so we can take the winglets off, or the wingtip fences off. Dude, 320 with no wingtip fences looks pretty sick, man. It looks pretty sweet, but it's like I think it would be a combined 20,000 pound weight penalty per the MEL. Because I know one is like 12,000. I know it's a lot. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's 20,000. I don't know what it is. I know it's a lot though. Fly Navy gonna let you disrespect him like that? So Wingnut and Fly Navy are twin brothers, and then their cousin as the channel is Full Flap Sim. Kind of a weird thing going on. It's no 733 and a Dirty Flaps 40. That is true though. Give me a classic 733. Why haven't we had a classic 733? When is the last IXEG? Was that literally the last classic we've had? Or no, we had that Fly J X-Plane. Literally X-Plane was the last time. We had classic 7.3 and FSX. Who made that? Was it the Wilco? I thought Wilco made us classic 737 on FSX. Surely that can't be the last one we've had. Feel there. Yeah, I remember that's what I had. Captain Sim 7.3 for P3D V5. Yeah, Marcus, I never got the Captain Sim 7.3 series for P3D then. It was the Feel There 737. That's what I had, yeah. I was so jacked when I got on, what was it was like a US Airways livery, but there was AvSim. Get on AvSim livery downloads. Yeah, that was awesome. My mom's friend was flying the 7.3 Classic for Airways at that time, and I was flying it on my sim, and he's like, oh, let me check this out, let me go to the prog page, go to this, go to that. Oh, that's cool. Wilco, that's it. Wilco 737 Pilot and Command. That's what it was. Yeah, by Feel There. Yes, the Wilco 737. Dylan, I'm with you, man. Or even, Dylan, could you imagine I'd say Phoenix level A300, but that would be pretty cool too. I would love to see Phoenix do something else than a 320 series too after this project. People speculate the Neo. I don't think they're going to make a Neo. For some reason, I just don't think they're going to do the Neo. I could see them doing another wide-body Airbus, though. Level D76. Can I get a moment of silence, please, for the Level D767? Thank you. Long live the Level D767. All right, we got to start thinking about coming down already. Damn. What's the METAR in Tahoe? I think it's straight VFR. Let's just fly in there straight VFR. Let's go ahead and start down. We'll go ahead and let's get down to we'll see where east is odds. We'll start down 15.5. Attitude hold. We'll go in VFR. Once we get of 18,000, we will. Oh, my pitch is not bound on this one. I'll have to bind this one. Attitude hold is not bound. All right, as we start down, I'm also going to reset the pressurization. So landing at Tahoe, quick, somebody tell me what the field elevation is. I'm going to set 5,000 for right now. So our cabin will start to descend. As we start to descend, down we go. We're going to leave our power set as is. Kind of a cruise descent here. Let's take 2 inches off of it, begin our stage going. So we're 35. Let's come back to 33. And we'll start the chrono. So I got the chrono and the yoke. I love this chrono and the yoke right here. So cool. As we're starting down. Proper DC8 would be nice. Yeah, that would be real nice. I remember have to crack the level D. It was a weird thing to do. Yep. Yep. I cracked the level D on one of my iPads because I bought it, paid for it, and then, oh, not my iPad, my laptop. I was trying to say, man, I want to run FSX on my laptop, and then I wasn't going to buy the level D again. So there was like a lot of things you had to do, but you could get the level D working. But yeah, there's all kinds of things you had to do. That was probably one of the that was the best 7.6, 7.5 simulation I think we ever had. Now I know it didn't have a 7.5, but you could throw this. There was no 7.5 on the level of the level D. The level D was a whole nother level, man. Uh-oh, Lucas Spunction. Hopefully we're gonna be. Hopefully no meds today, man. No Ambien, right? Thank you, man, for a massive 50 hey ice. Appreciate you. Since I have a disgusting amount of knowledge about airplane engines, here we go. All Lycoming 540 have 541.5 cubic inches of displacement. The only difference between the 540 and 541 is the only additional accessory drive. Really? So the 541 has an additional accessory drive. I wonder if that's I guess that's because it's running more stuff. I'm trying to think. So the Chieftain that had the 540, we weren't pressurized, so maybe it needs that accessory. It needs an additional accessory drive for running pressurization. Not sure. That's very interesting to hear, though, man. But thanks for the 50 hey ice. Appreciate you. What does Ambien mean? Or whatever whatever medication you were on during our BSL stream. Just making sure you're all right, my man. I did see your glider landing, though. Looked pretty sweet. We got to keep our chrono out. Let's go 2 more inches. So we're at come back to 31 out of 16,000. Let's go ahead and squawk VFR. So we'll go ahead and squawk VFR. Cancel our flight plan. We're squawking 1200. We're 2 minutes out from Tahoe. We'll keep descending down. 55. Let me pull out the Tahoe airport information. Weather, winds are calm, 10 miles clear. It's a beautiful day. 1.8 or 3.6 is, so 3.6 is recommended, really? Elevation is 6258, so call it 6,300. So 1,000 is 7,300. Let's set 7,300 feet. I would think 1.8 would be recommended. I guess 3.6, so you can go around over the water. Circle to land 3.6? Okay. We'll do circle to land 3.6. I think I remember doing that. So field elevation was what? 6,000. So we're a little bit off schedule here on our descent. That's all right. I wish I had as much money to blow as this dude. Oh, I thought you meant as a Duke. Look at that. Chuck Blake dropping 20 gifted memberships. Chuck Blake, I appreciate you, man. Very, very kind. I'll pause the alert box for this one. I appreciate the 20 gifted membership dono. Absolutely awesome. That just means our next Airbus stream, we're going to see all yogas, right? Chat Blue. You guys have been slacking on the yogas. But what a boss. Appreciate you, Chuck Blake. And thanks again, Lucas. Thank you both. Where is Miss V1? She is at the house, awaiting my arrival to cook carnitas. Or no, fajitas. I'm having carnitas for lunch. But we're doing fajitas tonight. So I got to get the grill fired up. And then I got a lot of stuff to do. I got to work on my boat. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. I got a big tournament I'm fishing. It's going to be blowing 30 miles an hour all day long. So I get to stand out on the deck of a bass boat for 12 hours and 30 mile an hour winds. Probably going to wish I was streaming the Dukes. But yeah, so I won't be here tomorrow. Sunday is conference championships. Probably not streaming. But we'll be back live on Monday. And I think next week sometime, we're going to have to do some early morning flying. All right, let's bring it back 2 more inches. As we descend, I'm going to go ahead and run those mixtures up a little bit, rich them out. Runway 36 is what we determined we want to land on, so I'm going to set 360 on the CDI. Bug my heading to our current heading. Get a reference here. Is there a ICAO thing? Is there a CTAF for this airport? .CTAF KTVL. No. All right. Tahoe. Is that right? I thought every airport had a CTAF. I guess not. Oh yeah, Barry Seal Aviation's coming back next week, no doubt. K6, my man, thanks for $2 super chat. Daisy Duke is probably my favorite Duke. Hey, cheers, you and me both, dude. You and me both. $22.85? Is that what we're supposed to tune? This is so dumb. Tahoe traffic, November 357 Bravo Sierra, type BE60 Duke, red at 12,000 feet, descending for a circle to land 36. Position is 15 miles northwest of the field over the lake. Any traffic in the area, please advise. We might have to do some. Yeah, we're probably going to do a lot of Airbus next week, too. We'll do Airbus mornings and then Barry Seal the evenings because I got my line check trip.
Hi, Tahoe traffic.
And it's going to suck. I'm going to be gone for 5 days. I can't believe it.
Entering a long downwind
trip. It's like the worst trip I've ever seen. I got to do a line check, and I'm doing a line check with someone who is known to be an absolute not good person to do a line check with. But my FO is like one of the most senior people in the company. He's senior to me by like 8 years. It's crazy. So we'll see how it works out. But I got to do line check prep. Gosh, this just looks awesome down here. So how did the poll turn out? Wow. Turbine Duke, 39%, 34 for the Grand Duke, and 26 for the regular Duke. Very cool. All right, we'll have to Turbine Duke up next week. Let's go ahead and hit the like button up. How about that? I'm not going to stream next week until you guys hit that like button. You guys have been light on the likes. Light on the likes. Open cowl halves, cowl flaps half, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The half prop sink's coming off. I'm going to go ahead and take over heading mode.
Remember, to deck runway, we're actually going to be entering the final for runway 18.
Alright, he's landing straight in on 18. Keep an eye out for flicks. There's 10,000 feet. We're below 250. I guess we'll get all of our lights on. Don't need the wing light. We'll get those 4 on. That looks good. A little bit more rich on the fuel. Fuel tank, so we've got plenty of gas. We're looking good. Let's go ahead and kill the blower right now so we don't forget. Blower's coming off. Cabin is almost synced up, so we're pretty much depressurizing. We're going to heading bug ourselves out to the left because it's a circle to the right. I know there's a procedure for this. We're not flying the proper procedure, so don't wander around me. Where's the tow in Tahoe? It's January. Yeah, I don't know. Is there snow out here right now? I don't see any snow. I guess we're going fishing, Gus. I guess we're going fishing. I think what's happening, Gus, is I think that when I wind the time back, it's trying to do history weather, and it just screws everything up with the ground textures. I think that's what's happening. Apparently that's fixed in the beta, but I haven't messed with it, so I don't know. Lucas, thanks for 5 Hey, turbine Dukes are for lame pilots that can't handle the piston engine. Well, I don't disagree with you there. I wouldn't say that for lame pilots, though, because I love the PT6. But as far as aircraft management, you're absolutely correct, dude. The piston Duke is way more to manage. Way more to manage. All right, cams are back up. Tahoe traffic, 357 Bravo Sierra. We're at 8,200 descending pattern altitude. We're setting up for a right downwind 36. I did say that right this time, right? There we go. All right, so technically we should be stage cooled because we're below 25 inches of manifold. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the power out. I'm going to turn the autopilot off. And we're going to bring it all the way back down. I'm going to level here for a minute. Is it supposed to be 1,500 feet for twins? I forget. Let's go flap approach. Get us one notch. Kind of tighten up this downwind here. There we go. Now we can keep coming down.
Tahoe traffic, November 200, Echo Romeo, short final 18.
I never started flight recorder. I can't see the screen. I can't see the screen. Make sure we're not crashing. Come on, flight recorder. Come on, flight recorder. Boom. Recording's on. Recording's on. All right, I'm back. That 100 feet to level off. Looking good. He's on short final, so he's back behind us. Oh, this is tight in here. All right, 7,300 feet. We'll keep coming down. Some slowing down. Ready for the gear just yet. This is a tight little circle in here. Clear down. Flaps approach. We'll spin it around. Tahoe traffic 357 Bravo Sierra. We're turning right base to final for 36 Tahoe. Oh yeah, we got to tighten this turn up here.
Tahoe traffic number 2638 Whiskey. Overhead the field, making right downwind for 26 takeoff.
Can't see. That's where you need track IR. Oh my gosh, look at these trees. These are way too tall. Alright, mixture's coming up. Oh my gosh, we left the fuel pumps on the whole flight. Oh, rip. I think you actually need them above 20,000 maybe. Fuel pumps on. We're looking good. Props are back. That's fine. We're going to navigate this final approach. Work in progress. Please don't hit the tree. Whew. All right, there's somebody on the runway. He's clearing. Bring it down.
Number 200, Echo Romeo, clear runway 18.
Right on the paint. Forward. Looking good. We'll save our brakes here. Run it down. Got the left main first, but that's all right. AJ trolling.
Solid Tahoe traffic, Marine 44140 is on the right down for runway 36.
I know that voice. Tahoe traffic 7 Bravo Sierra, we're clear. 36 taxi ramp Tahoe. Is that
Tahoe traffic number 263 at Whiskey, turning
a Phantom
right
Meridian?
Runway 36 Tahoe.
I think that was a Phantom Meridian. What's he doing flying? Who makes a Meridian? Pumps are coming off. That's fine. That looks good. We'll go ahead and dump that. No need to get the blower back on. Lights are coming off. Keep the taxi on for right now. Pitch trim is off, set to 0. Kill the panel lights, don't need those anymore. Don't need the pitot heats, don't need the fuel vents. Cabin is zeroed out. We'll go ahead and norm switch and open the window. love the idle sound, or just the low power sound of this Force has just nailed it. That sounded like Phantom, didn't it, Steven? Man, Fed's in chat. If it is Phantom, we got Feds following us. We didn't even do a proper circle.
Like Tahoe traffic, Meridian 44140,
That's definitely
right
Phantom.
base, runway 36.
I know. Oh my gosh, look at the bear. Look at this bear. And traffic on final, just be advised, there's a black bear just at the approach end there, in the dirt. Look at the freaking bear. It's tripping. I don't know what's going on with him. Oh, there's the Meridian. Or I think it's supposed to be a Meridian. We're going to walk up to that bear. Will we get mauled? Let's park here with the bear. It's a cocaine bear. We're going to walk up to it, Mickey. You've got the right idea.
Like Tahoe traffic, Meridian 44140, short final 36, Light.
Oh, so Meridian's on final. Alright. Let's see if I have a model for that. Brakes are set.
Like Tahoe traffic, Mark 2638 Whiskey, clear at 36, Lake Tahoe.
Close it up so we don't get any bugs crawling up our cowl flaps. Cowl flaps are closed. Boost pumps are off. Avionics master is off. 1000 RPM. Idle. Idle. Mags off. Off. Generators. Inverter. Battery. Oh, there's a Meridian. Dang it, just missed his landing. Ooh, he looks fast. I think he floated. For a Fed, I don't think he landed in the first third of the touchdown zone. Let's go walk out and check out this this black bear. Hold on. Hey, nice parking job there, dude. It even says Duke on his. Hold on, we gotta check out this bear. That was a 1,000-footer touchdown. I knew it sounded like Phantom. What's up, man? What Meridian are you flying? Who makes a Meridian for Flight Sim? Is there a good Meridian that I'm missing out on? Piper Meridian? Whoa! Cocaine bear. Let me take a screenshot. Oh, come on. Come on, get out of there. Oh, I thought he was going to make the turn there. What is he doing? Is he like swimming? Oh, he's drinking. There we go. Screenshot. That's going to be our next thumbnail. Oh, duh. The FSR one. Yeah, G1000. That's why I don't fly it. Did you do some modifications to the flight model on the FSR? Because last I knew it was pretty sensitive. I was trying to get a picture of the bear and the Duke in the background. I'm having way too much fun with this. Oh, hide. It's getting wild. Back to the airplane. Poke it. Well, if Phantom, if you've got some tweaks to it that make it good, I might be interested. Because I've heard people talk about the turboprop simulation, but I don't want to fly G1000, man. And plus, Boris sounds on the Duke. Alright, oh man, I've been recording this whole time. Let me stop recording. I don't know, I ran off. That bear is being very sus over there. See, he's the only one that parked. Well, he parked kind of on the line. We split the lines. Alright, let's watch our replay. Meridian's down there. And beta, probably. The beta sounds in this thing are the best you've heard? Really? Really? Well, you've got my attention. Oh, real quick. What was our failure? Let's see. What's our active failure? Oh, landing light and recog. So if we were flying at night, we wouldn't actually see them on. That's pretty cool. I guess we'll fix those now in Tahoe. So our landing lights were out. But all right, replay time. Disconnect from my Veo Premium. I don't know what the heck that pair is doing. Let me close the nose cowl like so. Wonderful. And for replay, I'm going to turn the battery on. We'll turn the mags to both. Put the mixture up. And that should be enough. Time is at 1:16. Perfect. There's 19 meters of snow in these mountains right now? Really? I wonder why it's not showing snow. I'm going to try to do a... Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why. It's not showing snow, man. I don't know why. I think we're getting better. We're getting better on our landings. Hold it off. Ah! Not bad. Not bad. I'll take that. Still can use a little bit more flare, I guess. I'm not used to that pitch attitude on touchdown. I think I'm already flaring high enough, but I guess I can go a little bit more. Yeah, I can go a little bit more. But I'll take that right on the 1,000 footers, unlike Phantom's landing halfway down the runway. Let me see, out of curiosity, can we make it snow here? Turn live weather off, preset snow. Raise the cloud deck though. There you go. Coverage. Those are clouds. I was wondering if I could change the density of the snow. Snow depth. 19 meters. Cool. There you go. All right. That's it. We'll wind it all the way back. Hold on. All the way back. Get sail going. Enjoy the approach and landing into Tahoe. I guess we're going snowboarding now. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up for me. Hope y'all enjoyed this flight. Thank you for coming along with me. Those that flew along, love to see a little GA traffic. Might have to take a listen to those FSR sounds. If Phantom is saying it's got a good beta sound, kind of curious. All right. I won't see you tomorrow. Probably won't see you on Sunday. But I'll be back on Monday. So until next week, y'all, stay safe, stay healthy. Keep posting those pictures in the Discord. And I'll see you next week. I'm V1. See you.